Hi, very good morning to you. It's Jim from maverickstar Observatory. A couple of weeks ago, we was talking about the possibility that Canada might have to evacuate most of its residents, and it won't just be just Canada that will be facing this. It will be a lot of the countries in the European nations, all across Europe, that are sitting above a certain latitude. And this, what we're looking at here, is just the beginning of more of what's to come. Through the floods recently in Canada, it has, destroyed a lot of, needed infrastructure such as roads and rail lines. And I've been having a look at some of the damage caused, and I can tell you now, this isn't something that's going to be put back together within a couple of weeks. You're talking months of engineering solutions to put the rail back online, because the whole entire land under some of the parts of the track has been completely washed away. So where the rail sat on the good foundations at one point, they've now been washed away, and the only solution to that now, to get that rail back up and usable, is to build a bridge. And today, or this week, it'll be the needed bridges and road infrastructure to put these main routes back online so that they can get the shipping from one of their main ports in Vancouver up and running again. But meanwhile, people will be experiencing shortages and necessities. And this is what happens when you don't. It's not a case of building a house on floodplains and knowingly doing it. It's building cities on infrastructure which was never set up for glacial periods. And this is what we're heading into. There is no way that Canada is going to be able to keep repairing infrastructure to keep its cities sustained. In the end, it will have no choice but to abandon that territory. And I know that's going to come across to some people, but most people aren't aware of what happens during a return to a glacial period. And at the moment it might be floods washing away roads, but then the weather is going to get more colder, and it will be ice on power lines, and it will be the ice that devastates gas lines, pipelines, electric moving into the city, other utilities. It's going to be unsustainable. And this is what happens when you build a country in a risk region of the earth. And what's made it even worse is that people won't listen to me. And the mainstream media aren't certainly going to cause a panic at the moment in Canada and other countries around the world, because it would shut the entire global economic system right down. There is an emergency, and we don't know how long or how far off we are to a full return to a glacial period, but we live in a world where people don't think it's even possible. And like I say, it's just raining at the moment, causing floods, breaking records of 100, 200-year rainfalls in a matter of hours. And that rain bursts the riverbanks, washes away, land underneath rail lines, washes bridges away, all key, important infrastructure that a city or cities need to sustain their positions and, keep millions and millions of people, running round the wheel, if you like. No one's listening, because we live in a strange time where people would rather believe a lie than believe the truth. When it comes down to, like here at the observatory, we've been telling people we're going to have to change, our business, the way we do our business, and put our service out to people dramatically from January. And on the back of that, we raised probably £20 on the main day of what we do here at the observatory. So, we know people aren't listening. And it's just going to be a case in the future of sitting back and watching all this unfold. And I know what's going to be the case for a lot of people. They're going to hear what we say, they're going to disregard the warnings, and they're going to lose everything. It's just a matter of time, and we're all going to watch this happen. And piece by piece, things are going to go offline, and that is going to include cities. The world is changing, and it seems like it's stepped up a gear. Floods, as we've been reporting here for now over a year, are going to become a more common event, and even for most of you listening now are going to experience it. Even myself, a couple of weeks ago, coming out of Weymouth, they had torrential rain over the night, and we had to drive through. Luckily enough, we did manage to get through about 9 or 10 floods where water was well over the doorsill. So it's just a matter of time. These cities are not sustainable places. They do not sustain life when it comes to these events, and nature is showing us exactly how she can cut these cities off just through a few hours or a couple of days worth of rain. It's going to leave people without necessities this Christmas in Canada because of this. We're talking billions and billions of pounds worth of cargo that goes through Vancouver port, and without the rail infrastructure and the road networks, that cargo is not going to go anywhere. They might have to reroute it out of that to another port, and meanwhile they're going to have to put into, I suppose, emergency planning to get those those rail lines back online some way. This is just the start. We can all watch from our homes as these northern territories go offline over the coming years. And you know what? There is going to be, at the moment there isn't, there is going to be panic at some point when everybody's trying to sell the house and it's worth nothing. And when they can no longer, maintain a living there, let alone keep the jobs there, we're going to watch all this happen. And most of us from the comfort of our own homes. And people aren't being warned about it, and even if they are, they're not listening. This is the ignorant world which we live in today. People just don't give a flying fuck anymore. So when they no longer care about their neighbour or people in their community, watch how fast their communities fall apart. Watch how fast these cities fall apart. They're not sustainable. They can't sustain millions of people in a little area. No way. Tomorrow these people can't turn to growing their own food, not with the climate shifting in the direction it is. It won't be no good to you. Just take a look at your commercial farmers. They're far more better growers than most people will ever be. If you think you can put a few seeds in the ground and manage enough food or forage enough food for yourself, good luck to you. It ain't going to happen overnight, and it certainly ain't going to happen with a changing climate on this earth going into the direction of another glacial period. If you think what I'm saying here is wrong, then you need to have a look at your history with regards to climate and see exactly how close you are right now to returning back into a glacial period if you live over a latitude of 40 degrees on this planet. We're just going to have to watch. As always, bye for now.